Thank you for clicking on today's video. So today I'm going to react to something that's pretty funny. I like reacting to these, walking up on the street to random people asking them crazy questions. Not even really crazy questions, just questions about life, and sometimes they don't get it. Sometimes they just miss the mark. Before we get this video started, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel for more great content like this. So this video comes from Jaywalker Journalism, and the title is called Racist Quotes. Who said it, Biden or Trump? As you can see, it's going to be a spicy one. And let's get straight into the video, guys. I want to see this. All right, let's get into this. I'm pretty sure everybody he interviews is very educated about everything. I mean, they probably may have went to college, but very educated people.
A quote, and then you have to guess if Trump or Biden said it.
Sure.
Okay. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. Who do you think said that, Trump or Biden?
Unless you have a what kind of accent?
A slight Indian accent.
Trump.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
The next one is, poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Wow.
I know this one.
Which one of them said that, you think?
I guess she's going to say Trump. Yep.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. Not really.
This dude is saying every other race but white. It's crazy to me. And this is like on his election trail. When I saw this video, I thought there's no way people are going to still vote for this guy. And he still got elected. And people are acting like, oh, he never said that. It's like, it's just crazy to me how people thought Trump said that. Like,
Very surprised. But prayerfully, he turned a new leaf. And he's a different person today.
Did you hear the quote that he said more recently during an interview where he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? Quote, you ain't black.
What? No. Where was that interview?
You got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
and it's so funny because, like, black people be giving him a pass, guys. Like, he says some crazy racist stuff, and black people are like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem that he said if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Brother, he's trying to tell you what your race is. That's crazy.
You have any thoughts about that?
It's really unfortunate if that is factual.
It
You
is.
say that.
It was literally blasted all over Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. It is factual. There is video proof of him, as we just saw.
Very unfortunate, and I'm at a loss for words.
Why do you think maybe you haven't heard of those comments coming from him?
Well, everybody deserves a second chance,
Because you
and
don't
who
listen.
people may have been 20 years ago, they may not be today. 15, even who people were last week, they may not be today.
This was last election cycle. This wasn't no 10, 15, 20 years ago, lady. She's flabbergasted that she found this out. Don't you ever, like, look at videos? Don't you ever go on Google? You could Google this. It's not a secret.
Educator, I just believe in giving second and even third chances.
Except it's Trump.
So I'm just gonna assume that that's possibly why it's
No, unless
not
it's
in the
Trump,
media.
then
We're going to read a
then-
quote, and then you have to
Damn.
guess if Trump or Biden said it.
Oh, jeez.
Poor kids are just as bright and talented as white kids. Trump.
This guy looks like he would put his life on the line to vote for Biden. Just saying. He would put his life on the line for Biden. Gotta watch out for those white liberals. That's who vote for him.
As white kids. Trump. Who do you think said that?
He's an idiot. He says these things.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. Trump or
I was
Biden?
asking the same question.
Trump or Biden?
I'm gonna go Trump.
Everybody's gonna say
Trump.
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 Trump. That would be Trump.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm
Sounds
not
old in this
joking.
one too.
Why do you think Trump said those things?
I just think that's something Trump would say.
Would you be surprised to hear that Biden said both of those?
I would be.
What would you think if I told you that Biden actually said both of those things?
I'd be surprised. He did.
He did.
Okay.
What?
cool.
Don't you go on the
What's
internet?
your reaction to that?
I mean, you're older, so I mean.
Poor kids just as bright as white kids. That is another Biden quote.
He's a different generation, and we're a different generation than you. So you have to understand where people and how they grew up and what was socially acceptable at the time.
A different generation, lady. Biden is like 80 years old. You're probably around the same age as him. You giving this dude second chances, but God forbid if Trump says something like that, you would never forgive him. It's just crazy how graceful these people are to Biden. Like, first and foremost, he's a terrible person. He's a terrible president, and it's like when all the COVID stuff and it was happening and the lockdowns and the BLM, people were scared. I understand people were scared, and a lot of scandals came out about how the government was like pushing stuff on like Facebook and Instagram saying, hey, this is misinformation, we don't want you doing this or else. And then they started banning people who were saying stuff like, oh, masks don't work, or all this. And Biden was all behind this, just pushing this on everybody. He tried to mandate vaccines for everybody. Are you gonna forgive him for that too? These people are just so far gone. I mean, they're old, they don't have that much time left, the people that they were talking to, but at the end of the day, it's like, how can you live your whole life, have gray hair, and not know who you're voting for? That's baffling to me. How do you not know who you're voting for? How do you not know what these people are saying? It's just like, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be dumb. You're just dumb. You're ignorant. You don't know anything. I can understand it. I would respect them more if they said, he did say that. I don't agree with that, but I like his policies, or, I like how he governs this. No, nothing. Oh, it's in the past. You will not get that same grace to Trump. A lot of these people won't. But, we're about to see that. Elections coming up in November. So we're going to see in the polls, who's the better person. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I thought that was funny. These people are just so far gone. And, man, I just... I don't know what to say. It's just like you have the right to vote, but some people shouldn't. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.